Lawmakers from Hungary's ruling Fidesz party have stalled a parliamentary vote on Sweden's bid to join Nato. The EU's chief diplomat Josep Borrell is set to visit Ukraine today as a show of support for the war-weary country.
British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said he was shocked and sad to learn that King Charles III had cancer, but is relieved that the illness was caught early.
Hungary is the only country holding up Sweden's accession to NATO. Members of the ruling Fidesz party boycotted a session of parliament called by the opposition to ratify Sweden's membership. After Turkey approved Stockholm's accession in January, Hungary became the last of the military alliance's 31 members not to have done so. Orbán and the Fidesz party have stalled Sweden's bid since July 2022, alleging that Swedish politicians have told, quote, blatant lies about the condition of Hungary's democracy. However, last month, Orbán promised to urge ratification.
The Prime Minister pledged to convene Parliament, to urge Parliament to act at its earliest opportunity. Today was an opportunity to do that.
Monday's session in Parliament was supported by 6 opposition parties, but Fidesz lawmakers did not attend, delaying the attempt to place a vote on the legislature's schedule.
It's also very irrational. What is he doing? Despite, all the pressure that's coming, he himself should understand that this is going to serve the interest and the security of the Hungarian society. But this is Orbán, irrational, and his personal vanity is just there.
Fidesz lawmakers want Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson to come to Budapest to negotiate on the matter with Orbán. Kristersson has said he will make the trip, but only if Hungary votes to approve his country's NATO membership. The EU's foreign representative Josep Borrell is due in Kiev in what's being seen as a gesture of reassurance to Ukraine of continued European support. The visit comes on the heels of a recent EU deal to provide the war-weary country with a new €50 billion support package. Borrell was last in Ukraine's capital in October. Meanwhile, President Zelensky has been meeting soldiers at a training center in the Dnipro region. The trip comes as Ukraine's leader confirmed he was considering the possible dismissal of the country's top military officer. Asked whether he would be firing General Valery Zaluzhny, Zelensky said he was thinking about it as a part of a broader reset of the country's leadership.
Слухайте, це кадрове питання, яке всередині нашої держави. І, безумовно, якщо ми говоримо про перезавантаження, то я хочу, щоб ви мене зрозуміли. Коли ми говоримо про перезавантаження, то ми говоримо про перезавантаження тих чи інших керівників держави, а не тільки одного чи іншого сектору.
The president has asked the Ukrainian parliament to extend martial law and general mobilization for another 90 days. Under the law, men aged between 18 and 60 are not allowed to leave the country as they may be called up for military service.
British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said he is relieved King Charles's cancer was caught early. Buckingham Palace says King Charles III has begun receiving treatment and is expected to remain in London for the time being. The king was diagnosed with the disease during recent treatment for an enlarged prostate. The palace has not revealed what type of cancer it is, but says it is not connected with his prostate condition. Experts say the fact that the illness was detected early is important.
During the examination of the pelvis, other organs are looked at as well, or there may have been some preoperative tests that were done. But the main thing is, it sounds as though he didn't have any symptoms from this cancer, so it's been caught early. And all the messages we're coming out are very reassuring.
75-year-old monarch has been advised to step back from public engagements. Queen Camilla and Charles's heir, Prince William, are expected to take over some of his royal duties. His other son, Prince Harry, will travel from the U.S. to visit his father in the coming days.
2 assailants have been shot dead in Istanbul while trying to attack the Turkish city's main courthouse. One person, a prosecutor, later died of his injuries and 6 people were also wounded. A far-left group has been blamed for the incident, which took place on the anniversary of the 2023 earthquake.
Saat 10.30-11 suları arasıydı. İçeri işlem yapmak için gelmiştim adliyeye. Giriş yaptıktan bir 5-6 dakika sonra çatışma sesleriyle zaten bir panik yaptık. Hemen anonslar falan edildi. İçeride bir polis memuru vuruldu. Terör saldırısı diye adlandırıldı. Hepimizi zaten kafeterya bölümlerine doğru uzaklaştırdılar. Sonra polis memurunun biz kan içinde yere düştüğünü gördük. Ondan sonra zaten hepimiz panikledik. Canavliyle hepimiz sağa sola kaçtık zaten.
This Tuesday marks 1 year since the devastating earthquake in Turkey. Many of the 700,000 left homeless by the earthquake are still living in tents. In Antioch, the hardest hit city, 90% of its buildings were destroyed. Survivors are still waiting for the help promised by government.
Bulletin bize herhangi daha şu ana kadar bir açıklama yapmadı. Yıktılar, kaldırdılar, yıkıldı. Ev vereceğiz diyorlar.
Some residents were rehomed in shipping containers and others in tents despite freezing temperatures.
Akşam çok soğuk. Sabah birazdan var.
8 members of his family also live here.
Burada 3 tane bir tane burada. Ben orada yatıyorum, bir de kardeşim küçük orada yatıyor. Hatta gittik bir şey vermeyeceğiz.
Turkish authorities want to start reconstruction efforts by rebuilding businesses to kickstart the economy. But this time, anti-seismic standards will be respected.
The Ukrainian-born winner of this year's Miss Japan beauty pageant has renounced her crown and resigned from her modelling agency after a magazine reported that she'd been having an affair with a married man. Initially, Karolina Shino confirmed the relationship but said she did not know he was married. But later she admitted this was not true and apologised to his family. Miss Japan organisers accepted her renunciation and left the slot for the 2024 winner empty.
これからも多様性だったり人を見た目で判断しない社会づくりに貢献していきたいと思っております。本当にありがとうございます。
Shino has lived in Japan since moving to the country at the age of 5. She's widely been criticised on social media, but the affair has also raised questions about why she was the only one to be blamed for it.
The EU's proposal to reduce the use of pesticides is the first to fall victim to farmers' protests. The plan aimed to halve pesticide use by 2030 with the goal of reducing biodiversity loss. It is the first defeat for the European Green Deal, the European Commission's flagship environmental policy. This is how Ursula von der Leyen announced the withdrawal of the law, known as SUR.
Let me give you one example. The Commission proposed SUR, which is the worthy aim to reduce the risks of chemical plant protection products. But the SUR proposal has become a symbol of polarization. It has been rejected by the European Parliament. There is no progress anymore in the Council either. And that is why I will propose to the College to withdraw this proposal.
The law already received a fatal blow last November when the European Parliament voted down its own position on the text, leaving it with virtually no chance of going ahead. Negotiations between EU capitals were also at a deadlock. The main farmers' organization, Copa Cogeca, complained that the proposal imposed targets from above and was poorly designed, poorly evaluated, poorly financed, and offered few alternatives to farmers.
It doesn't take into account the reality on the spot, because all of us, I think, we want to reduce the use of chemical pesticides. But the question is what we put, what we replace with what, this kind of pesticides, in order to give to the farmers the possibility to continue their work.
But increasing loss of biodiversity, including key pollinators for agriculture, casts doubt on whether this is the best move for the planet. Green parties believe it's not.
Is to scrap They claim that it is in the name of the interests of the farmers. Well, I don't know whether farmers will see it the same way. Of course, they are over-reliant on pesticides, but as you know, pesticides, there's a side thing in the word which means killer, right? So it can't be a good thing.
Farmers' protests continued to spread across Europe on Tuesday, after reaching Brussels last Thursday.
At least 3 people are confirmed dead and dozens are in hospital as foggy weather and low visibility in northern Italy resulted in a string of motorway accidents on Monday. Over 150 vehicles in total were involved, closing more than 70 kilometers of highway. Among the dead was a truck driver whose vehicle crashed into cars and caused a pileup in the Emilia-Romagna region. 2 other fatalities were reported in Lombardy, east of Milan, near the city of Brescia.
CERN scientists say they're on track to build a new generation particle collider which could reveal the deepest mysteries of the universe. The €16 billion Future Circular Collider would dwarf the Large Hadron Collider, the world's current biggest, based in Switzerland. The feasibility plan should be ready by mid-2025 and envisages a machine with a circumference of 91 kilometers and a maximum energy of 100 tera-electron volts. The collider could be operational by 2040.